Know what it is.
What's good?
You already know what to do. One time for the fan. We are back. Of course, you know we're talking Falcons football without the Falcons playing.
All day, every day.
Ain't got nothing else to do but start the show. Ain't been on this stream for a minute for a second. It looked like the song didn't even want to play. Song was like, where y'all been at? It's been about a week. Where y'all been at? Song didn't want to load up for a second there, but maybe that StreamYard issue. I don't know. It's not a one time for the fan issue. But we back. One time for the fan. Chase, Bodie, they here with me. Chat, I know y'all about to get lit. I know y'all about to get live. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Even though the Falcons are not playing, whole weekend full of playoff football, no Falcons, and here we go back on the podcast talking about Atlanta Falcons football. But before we get to that, Chase, Bodie, how y'all doing, man? How's y'all weekend? Last time we talked was last week. A lot has happened since then. What's good, man?
Go ahead, buddy.
Man,
Wolfpack.
Great day to be a no. It's a new world order. I wore this shirt for a reason. I do everything for a reason. It's a new world order. This starts a new vision of the Falcons. It's a new season to me. We're moving on. I expect great things next season, and it's a great day to be a Falcon fan and a Georgia Bulldog fan.
Go Dogs! Last time we talked, was getting ready for the national championship game. Yeah. National championship is now over, and the Georgia Bulldogs are champions. So go Dogs! Yes, Chase, big Georgia fan. Bodie, big Georgia fan. Me, myself, big Georgia fan as well. But Chase, how you been, man?
Been doing good, bro. Yeah, just been glad to watch some football. You know, wasn't our Falcons, but it's always good to watch some football. Like Bodie said, man, I'm just ready for the off season to kick off. I'm ready to see what these birds about to do. You know, really exciting. It's the first off season we've had some cash in a while, so definitely ready to kick that off.
Did you put on your Falcon colors today to watch the playoffs? Falcon fans in the chat, did you put on your Falcon colors today to watch the playoffs, or yesterday, or did you just wake up, whatever, put on anything and watch the game? I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I usually have on Falcons gear or some type of Atlanta or Georgia sports gear somewhere nearby. So, you know, I just had to slap on quick Falcon hat, had the Falcon slides walking through. You know what I mean? Just something light. No but, Bodie, Chase, do y'all put on y'all Falcons gear when y'all watch the playoffs, man?
Most definitely. Super Bowl, all that mess.
Yeah, Super Bowl, yeah. Normally I do, but today I ain't really watch football like that. I'm a little salty. We ain't in it right now.
But, Big salty. Especially yesterday watching two teams you beat play in the regular season. You beat them. Beat them single-handedly. Beat them bad.
Beat them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what it is, man.
Falcon fans, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the podcast. Of course, you know we're talking Falcons football. Every Wednesday, every Sunday. That was during the season, but now we're on every Sunday. So shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us since day one. We got a lot to go over. And I don't even know where to start because do you want to start in the playoffs? Like, let's just go around the playoffs. So, Seattle, San Fran yesterday. Was it surprising to see San Francisco win, or is this Purdy kid giving us hope for what Desmond Ridder needs to be doing next season? Because I'm watching the games and I'm like, wow, this last pick in the draft is literally taking this team.
When you mix, mix all those superstars that they have, they got CMC at running back, they got Kittle, they got Debo.
They got a little stack of offense over there.
Good line and great offensive mind. That's what you get. You could put Ridder over there; he'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah. It's the system. I believe it's the system because I'm not taking the talent away from it at all because some of those throws that kid's throwing, to be the last pick of the draft is pretty nice. He knows how to. He's got good pocket awareness. What all quarterbacks need. He knows how to put the ball on target.
If you're looking at San Fran's team, and I'm watching it yesterday, and I'm like, if Purdy's doing this, same thing like Bodie just said, if Purdy's doing this with Samuels and Kittle, Christian, I'm thinking about Desmond like, man, you got CP and Algier back there. You got Drake London who's starting to come up over there. I mean, let's use like Debo. All right, CP. So let's use Debo, CP. Who else they got? Kittle. We got Pitts. Outside of Debo, who's their other receiver? They ain't got no Drake London like how we got Drake London over there. We got some weapons, man. We got some weapons offense, and I'm watching this team like, I can't believe these teams are in the playoffs and the Falcons are not there. And it's going to be exciting to see the Falcons back in the playoffs next season. It truly is. You're watching Chase, Bodie. You're watching these games, and you're like, so many fans outside of these teams right now is watching the playoffs, like us, like the Jets, like the Aints, like the Panthers, like the Bears, whoever. They're watching the playoffs too and thinking, man, I can't wait for my team to get to the playoffs. So next year is going to be sweet, watching our team in the playoffs. Hell, we're probably going to be at the game.
Yes.
If it's a home, we'll definitely be there. And if it's away, I think we'll probably be there too as well. Shout out to the Rise Up Tour. One time for the fan. Of course, we're talking Falcons football every Sunday now up until training camp. And we'll be there day one of training camp that's open to the public. You see, I'm watching the game too. I keep shifting over because it's football.
Yeah, I got it on too.
You watching it too?
Yeah.
I know your channel's like 30 seconds behind. I don't want to give you any too many updates. Burrow just completed the pass.
You good.
They're driving.
You're good.
Just wanted to let you know. Let's go into some Falcons news, y'all. Last week, we talked about what is to be expected of the offseason. And already, the day after our show, some interesting news came out. Later on that week, some more news came out. And the Falcons are not too active, but as fans of the team and having the podcast, anything the Falcons post, we want to be on top of it. Anything the Falcons post, we want to be on it, right? So check this out. Dean Pease retires.
Yeah.
We're talking last week on the podcast about defense and about what we're going to do here and what we're going to do, and then Pease. He retires. So now we're in the chat looking like, do we want to do the Wednesday show again? Because this is a lot of information we got to put up on Sunday. But it's sad to see Coach Pease retire. But it's also a good thing to see Coach Pease retire because if that's something that he wants, and that's something that, he's been coaching for 50 years.
Yeah.
The man is a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. And I'm glad to have him in the room here for Atlanta. And if anything happens with the Falcons going forward, defensive-wise or the team-wise, where we get back to the playoffs, and some of these stars that Dean coached and Dean picked in the draft is still here, oh, man, big shout out to Dean Pease, man.
Yeah.
Now you kind of look at it and you say, was he here to help build the culture? Now you go back to when Smith first came over and looking at Pease' deal, and it's like, well, he was going to be here for one more year. That was the deal. One more year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to make the decision to stay or go, but let's just say would have been to the playoffs twice, would he would have stayed? I don't know. What I know is from what they said is he's been coaching for 50 years. I can tell you.
He said it, like he said in his interview. He said it perfectly. He owed it to his family. He owed it to his wife. It was time for family time.
An amazing family too, as well. Amazing, beautiful family.
He definitely said his wife's time. He was very specific.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even for that, you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, so what do the Falcons do now? This is the fun part, Falcons fans. And hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting One Time for the Fan. We really appreciate it. This is the fun part. After hearing Dean P's retirement, now you're sitting there like, oh, Coach P's. But wait. There's a position open. Defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get tears in my eyes just thinking about it. Falcon fans, I think it's time to get up out this hole that we've been in defensively. And that goes to, the 16 sacks a season. And now we got, 21 this year. And, the amount of pressure, the amount of tackles for loss, sacks, hits on the quarterback, all that shit needs to go up. We need to start being more dominant here on defense. A little bit more physical, too, as well. And I think the next defensive coordinator is going to come in here from off of what Coach P's put in place and Arthur Smith and what they have going on in that locker room. And they're going to bring a new defense. They have the money. They have the draft. They have every advantage they need right now to not only bring in a solid defensive coordinator who can help this team, and just somebody who can be here for a long term. I'm ready to see some long-term organization guys here. People putting Coach Smith on the hot seat. Y'all really want another head coach already? We're gonna keep doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, we got to look at this right now. I don't see Coach on the hot seat. Now this year, if things go south, like south, then hey, I might raise the question about it. But I still see Coach Smith, even when he's talking about it. Some people say, oh, he's out of here. He won't even be coaching next year. Listen to these interviews and what they're doing off season. He's here next year. And I think he's excited about what's about to come to the Falcons team. I think they're already looking at free agents. They're already looking at targets. They're already looking at some players in the draft. And I can't wait to see this. Chase Bodie, Dean P's retirement. Sad but beautiful thing to see for Coach as a legend. But it opened up the doors now for this defensive coordinator. And this is going to be somebody that we need to help this defense to really push Grady Jarrett to the next level, to really get AJ Terrell to the next level. If Richie Grant's going to be here, Troy Anderson. I mean, how exciting is this now that you finish the offseason, Falcon fans are waiting for some moves, some information, anything that happens, and now you're looking for a defensive coordinator. Like, how exciting is this as a Falcon fan that you're going to be bringing somebody new to the building who can really, step this defense up? And we're going to drop some names in a minute because there are some pretty popular names now that Falcons have been targeting. And we're going to talk about that. Bodie, Chase, please talk about just how exciting it is. You can see a new face in the building soon who's going to be a big help to this team.
Go ahead. You got it.
It's to me, like you said, it's very entertaining, just to even have somebody to come in and change your defense. We've been bottom of the league for the past, I'll say 5 years. Just to have somebody like you said, some of those big names to come in the building with all this cap space that we're going to have, somebody that knows how to build a defense, that's done it, that's had past regimes that's succeeded under this guy. It's fun to see. I'm ready to see what happens. I know the fans are ready to see what happens. So it's definitely exciting, and it definitely keeps us busy on the podcast.
Keeps you busy because we're seeing the DMP's news and some of these names dropping. We're in the chat like, shit, get the info. Let's start doing our research on these guys. But most of them we already know, and we're going to get to that too. But Bodie, your thoughts just on the question that we're talking about now.
Well, first things first, Coach P's job well done. He came here.
Wait, Russell?
Yeah. You're going to call him Russell.
I think we can now.
Like this.
I think we can now, right? Russ?
Yeah, he didn't like it when he was coaching. He probably still don't like it now. Coach P's job well done. I mean,
we'll get to the chat.
He came here. He brought a mentality for us. I think the whole point of Coach Smith bringing in Coach P's was to bring in that old school mentality, for Coach P's to put his knowledge on these players that are going to be here next year and pass it along to whoever's coming, and just bring some kind of mentality to this defense. So, because he has 50 years of knowledge to, he's been a success in this league. Okay,
that's true.
A lot of this
multiple
time
times.
he's been a success. a lot of Super Bowls, a lot of stars. He knows a lot. So to have him be here was a blessing. We congratulate Coach Pease on a good retirement, and you know, I'm just grateful we had him here. Now, what that means for us is that we're gonna have to get to work. Excuse me. We have to bring in a good qualified candidate who's aggressive and really wants to go at it. I hope I keep saying I hope coach don't pick his friends or whatever. No, I need you to pick the most qualified candidate. That's the thing. That's where I think a lot of coaches have a problem with. They pick their friends, they bring their friends in here, and their friends might not be qualified, but that's a whole different story. I want coach and GM to bring in a qualified candidate that's going to really get this defense going, pumping, and I like the names. I'm here. I like these names.
Would you like to get to those names, or do we want to go ahead and
do it? Let's do it.
Let's go.
So, I mean, if we want to start at, we're not going to put these coaches in order, like, oh, who's best, who's worst. No.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
There are coaches in the NFL for a reason, and there's a reason why the Falcons are interviewing these guys. We don't know who the coach would be, but we definitely going to drop no negative information on none of these guys or start bashing these coaches. But there are some coaches that fans are looking at, like, why would you target him? Why would you go after him? Why would you interview him? The interview process is open to a lot of coaches. They're not just going to look at it and say, oh, no, he's the rival. No, we can't go to him. No, you can look at him and say, yes, he's still coaching the NFL.
Yeah. Anybody with any kind of experience in the NFL deserves to be looked at if they've had any experience.
Assistant defensive coordinator in Charlotte, Al Holcomb, is a name that has been brought to the table. Mm-hmm. A lot of fans are unaware of who Al Holcomb is. All they know is that he's for the Panthers.
Yeah.
He's also a defensive coach in this league. Not too much information I have on Al Holcomb. Otherwise, he's an experienced coordinator in this league.
And that defense wasn't trash.
Defensive line. His defensive line has always been solid.
That's what I'm saying.
Past 2 years, the Panthers have
Derek
had
Brown and some of the other guys too. As well.
Yes, and when you look at coaches, you're looking at people that have the influence on who you draft, who's your future at that position. So
you took the words right out of my mouth, Chase. Right out.
The next name. Go ahead. No, go Chase, please.
And I'm just saying that it's not all of a gameplay that you're looking at. You're looking at all aspects. It's not just one. People's targeting on one thing. It's a whole thing.
No, you're 100% correct.
Falcon fans, hit that like button, hit that share button. Please hit that subscribe button. We're doing this for y'all. There's no Falcons football, but we're still talking Falcons football. It doesn't matter. And, of course, the shows are every Sunday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. We're doing the shows now every Sunday up until when the season gets close to starting. Maybe around training camp, we'll be back to it. We'll get to the chat in a minute. Talked about Coach P's retirement. Talked about now some names that's been brought to the table here. The interviewing process will soon be underway. Teams are requesting interviews. Yeah. So it's not like some of these names have already walked through the building in Flowery Branch, but there are some pretty popular names. The Ejiro Evero pick. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. The guy from Denver.
Is he from Denver? Oh,
the coach from Denver.
They say they blocked his.
There are some reports that they blocked the request from the Falcons. I'm still waiting for like a full confirmation because we'll see what happens. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I will say if that's one of the selections that you're going for, that is a nice candidate. And if the Falcons are looking to pick up a defensive coordinator who can really bolster this defense, that is a name that I must say was on my list as soon as I heard DNP's retirement.
You brought him up in the chat like a day before we announced.
I brought him up in the chat because Denver was bad offensively, but defense, I believe they were still ranked top 10 too as well. They had like 34, 35 sacks on the year. Them boys can play now. I understand. You saw the defensive player yelling at Russ earlier this year, like, bro, we're doing our job. Do yours. You know what I'm saying? That's a name to look at. Al Holcomb from the Panthers. Ejiro Evero from the Broncos, which we don't know if it's blocked or not. Jim Haslett, longtime coach. Old Saints coach. I believe he was with the Bears, the Titans. So he definitely knows his way around this league too as well. He's in the XFL coaching. Can't rule out if he'll come back. He's a name that's on the list. Terry's old friend Ryan Nielsen down in New Orleans, who was the assistant, I believe he was the defensive line coach who's down there in New Orleans, which I must say, yes, we did hate the Aints, but we know their D-line was pretty solid too as well at times.
Has
been more consistent on that line than some of the names here. Outside of Grady, Grady's been a lot of bodies around him that's in and out the door. New Orleans, Cam Jordan been there for a while. I mean, Marcus Davenport been there for a minute.
Call it how we see it.
Ominata, whatever that guy's name was, there on the line for a minute. Hendrickson was down there for a minute. Demario Davis. I mean, they got some players over there where you just can't look and say, nah, that's the rivals. We can't go get them. We want to get whatever is best for the building. And if Terry and Arthur see it, Falcon fans, you got to see it. And that's cool because we're reading off these names and you guys are like, well, okay, Jim Haslett. Okay, I remember Jim Haslett. Varro, no, I don't know about him. Al Holcomb, no, I don't know about him. Well, damn it, let's just go ahead and go big. Brian Flores. Let's go. This is it, that's man. The Falcons have requested an interview with the Steelers, which the Browns earlier this postseason, I believe when the last game was over, week 17, week 18, whatever it was, the next day they requested an interview with Flores. Browns is thinking ahead like, our season's done. We need a defensive coordinator. Let's go hit up Pittsburgh and see what they're doing. I'm glad because I made a post on one time for the fan about, hey, Falcons, a lot of phones are being picked up and calls are being made, and I ain't hearing nothing. Now, a week later, you're hearing that there's a list of about 5 or 6 coaches who can be interviewed here for the Falcons or has been requested by an interview, and Brian Flores is one of the names. Big top candidate, former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, who is just a really good defensive coach. And I think he does have ties too as well to Dean Pease from years ago. So we don't know if Dean Pease made the call and said, hey, look, Brian, I got something set up down here in Atlanta. You might want to go for it. But if Pittsburgh doesn't throw the bag at him, Atlanta, I'm glad, is on the phone trying to request an interview. That's making me feel better. I made the post on the one time for the fan page, not knowing what the next day is going to happen. And then 2, 3, 4 days later, you get to hear the information that Brian Flores has been requested by the Falcons. Okay, that's cool. So that's why I got to sit back and just chill sometimes. Like, nah, let me just see what they're going to do before I post something stupid and everybody gets on my ass. But Bodie, Chase, I heard you guys talking too as well when I was talking about the coaches. I know y'all excited about some of these names that could be potentially here in Atlanta. The biggest name on the list outside of Jim Haslett will be Brian Flores. If we land Brian Flores in chat, I see y'all going crazy. Give me y'all thoughts, y'all comments on Brian Flores. Chase, Bodie, if we land Brian Flores, how big is this for not only your defense, but how big is this for the Atlanta Falcons?
It's huge, bro. If you just look at some of the past regimes of Brian Flores, man, some of these players that he, had influence on drafting, some of these players that are in the league now that's, went on to win chips. Just the name itself, Brian Flores, the stature that he carries. He came in Miami last year and really got them going. When they was on that hot streak, 8-9 game win streak, Brian Flores was the mastermind of it all. Mm-hmm. So this is a guy with experience, knows how to control a game. So I'm excited, to me, Brian Flores is my top candidate. That's who I'm rooting for to win right now.
Bodie, I don't know the backstory all the way with Brian Flores and the NFL situation. We're going to read into it. We're going to review more into it. I don't know if it's still ongoing, if they're going to – I don't know what the situation is. I just know that Mr. Blank doesn't like a lot of outside media attention in the locker rooms. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go in there, we're going to play football. And do not step on that logo in that locker room either. That's it. Play football. Do not step on that logo. All this camera attention outside and this contract and this dude and this gambling. Nah, we out of here. We ain't playing that. Y'all know this. Y'all been knowing that since the Prince Shumbo kicked that squirrel. Y'all knew this. Shit. Arthur Blank ain't playing. He's not bringing folks inside the locker room who's a cancer or who has situations going on behind the scenes that you got to worry about. One thing and you are off, man. You drop a damn pencil, you might be off the damn team. Just joking, but I don't know the situation with that. I know the Steelers, my friend who's a Steelers fan said, hey, if you guys get him, solid defensive pick, and he's a Steeler fan. But I know Brian Flores from watching him play. Chase knows Brian Flores from watching him. From watching him coach. Bodie knows Brian Flores from watching him coach. That is a top pick. If Dean Pease is walking at that door and Brian Flores is walking in behind, how can you not clap that up, Falcons fans? You know what's about to happen now once the defensive coordinator is selected, because now you're going to see, are they changing the scheme? Are they keeping the scheme?
That's when you really that's when you start to get into your draft. You know what they're going to do in free agency. That name there, man. I think he splashes.
It's a big splash. Bodie,
big name.
Brian Flores. Just come on. Just the thoughts about that, man. You're the professor, man. So once you start, getting into we got to hear this, man, from the professor. Just tell us your thoughts on what's going on, brother.
I had a couple things. Of course, Brian Flores is a great name. He was a head coach for a reason. My guy, he got it done. He had great players under him, like Chase said. He is very qualified, and I believe he has very good schemes that he ran. That name, that's a good name. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a couple other names at you.
Let's go.
You guys probably aren't ready for.
Come on.
Eagles defensive consultant Vic Fangio.
It's a big name.
Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
He, if I'm not mistaken, the Denver Broncos coordinator El Gero was under him.
Yes.
For a couple years. So that's where you can see now Vic Fangio, who Bodie has mentioned, and then we mentioned the coordinator from the Broncos, two solid defensive coordinators who both work together. Yes. I mean, if these names are on the list for the Falcons, you have to be feeling good about who can come in this building. But Bodie, yes, Vic Fangio, another top name who's not on my list. But yes, go ahead.
Yeah, under the Eagles, and you know what the Eagles been doing over there.
Yep,
so
stacking.
You got Vic Fangio, and then I'm gonna throw another Eagles name at you. Eagles defensive line coach Tracy Rocker.
Rocker, defensive line coach.
Hell, this dude is, but
two Eagles coordinators. Oh, you just taking the Eagles coordinators.
You gotta consider it. He was with Dave Rigoni under the Titans staff under Mike Munchak.
Snap. You may be doing.
He has Rigoni ties.
You may be doing something.
Former Titan too as well. Dun dun dun.
He's over there.
We can't take no more Titans over here.
Line, and you know what that Eagle defensive line look like right now. It look like Jordan Davis, Dominic Sue, freaking Graham,
Cox.
freaking Cox, freaking
Yeah, Fletcher's a monster.
Linebackers
down to secondary too as well.
There's something there.
Which is why I think if the Eagles get beat, you're going to be surprised because their team is stacked. It's like that 2K team you see, it's like all 99s. It's like, God damn, we got to play these guys? And they get beat by like 3. You're like, oh, man, they trash.
So,
but, Bodie, two big names.
You gotta consider that he has Dave Rigoni ties. So
two big names who is low-key right now for Falcons fans. The Tracy Rocker hit me off the wall right now. Yeah. Rocker, the defensive line coach for the Eagles. Where'd you get this from, Bodie? What chat are you in?
This good. Shout out to Falconholic. They do good work over there.
Want me to throw another name?
Go ahead.
Surprise. Brandon Staley. After he gets let go from the Chargers.
Shit.
If you want to go another one, what's your boy's name from the Vikings? The Vikings coordinator too. Was that Leslie Frazier or is he the offensive coordinator?
I'm not sure.
Go check and see. The Vikings defensive coordinator. That's the guy I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Vikings defense was pretty decent this season.
Pretty good.
Let's get to the chat. Chat always going crazy. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Dean Pease retirement. Shout out to Dean Pease, man, for everything you've done here in Atlanta. And of course your coaching career too as well. We're dropping some names. Whoever's going to be walking through that building soon here in Atlanta to help build this defense is going to be a part of the draft. I do think they're going to definitely select, and Falcon fans, we can agree or disagree. They're going to select a defensive coordinator before the draft.
Most definitely.
You got
that will happen.
You got to.
That will happen.
So now you're sitting here on One Time for the Fan, watching the podcast, thinking in the next couple of weeks, These guys are getting ready to go live and break down the defensive coordinator, the new defensive coordinator. I think Bodie's breakdowns every Wednesday. We have to move this shit to Sunday now because we need a breakdown of whoever this new defensive coordinator is going to be.
Yeah, we'll pop in a breakdown when something like that comes. Don't worry. We got this. We got it.
Call it Sammy's Sunday Showdown. Ain't your nickname Sammy?
Who the hell is
that? Anthony White is here. He said off season on deck. Let's see how it goes. Playoff berth next season needs to be on deck. That is definitely true, Anthony. Playoffs, looking at the schedule, I don't want to be the guy saying, oh, on paper. But if you want to get some hopes for next season, you should be able to beat AFC South. See the NFC North, they're out. Lions, out. Vikings, out. The Pack, out. And the Bears, out. You should be able to beat them too as well.
Yep.
You got the Arizona Cardinals on the schedule. You should be able to beat them next season. You got the Jets on the schedule. The Jets? Are you serious? You can play the Jets in Finland. It doesn't matter. You should be able to beat them. Play them on the damn. You can play them in hockey. Doesn't matter. You should be able to beat them. It's the Jets, for God's sake.
The Jets.
One time for the fan. Chase, you know this guy?
What's good, wrestling?
Ravage in the building. He said, rise up. He said, go dogs.
Rise up. Go dogs.
Hearts go out. Condolences to the situation out there in Georgia today, too, as well.
Yeah.
Prayers up.
The athlete and the coach. Don't have the names from you here, but yeah, the athlete and the coach for University of Georgia situation that happened early this morning, I believe it was.
Yes, early this morning.
It was Sunday morning at like 2 a.m.
Sunday morning, 2 a.m. Condolences.
Condolences to the families and
everyone affected. It's truly sad. We do yell "Go Dogs," but that's the team and everything they got for the national championship. But hearing the news this morning was
it broke my heart.
It was truly sad. But yeah, a lot to go on here with one time for the fan, and of course, our hearts and prayers go out to everybody there. Ravage, rise up, go dogs. Terrell, what picture is that?
It's good, Terrell. See, he looked at you like yeah.
He's looking at the Super Bowl trophy for the Falcons next couple of years. You see the vision.
Hey,
what's up?
Keisha said, "What's good, fellas?"
What's good?
Also good to hear that DeMar is also back too as well.
He's back. He went visit the Bills.
Feeling good.
Yeah, so
feeling great.
Shout out to that situation.
We don't know. Could the Bills and the Chiefs be playing in Atlanta soon?
Oh yeah, shout out to Dean Marlowe getting an interception today. Ugh.
Who? Dean Marlowe.
Dean
used to play for the Falcons?
Yeah,
he's in the playoffs. Marlowe.
Yeah.
How about Moreau with the Giants?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Ravage ATL's up in here. Deloach is up in here. It's hard for me to watch other teams, but I push through. It is true. I'm sitting here watching this game, looking at Harbaugh, and we played the Bengals, we played the Ravens. I'm sitting here like, who cares? Got the Falcon flag up. Falcon the hat right here. Falcon scarf sitting right here.
Exactly.
One time for the fan. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Hit that subscribe button. Anthony Handy, welcome to the show. Said rise up. Rise up, Anthony.
Rise up.
Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Hit that subscribe button. We got some special guests going to be coming up on the podcast in the next couple episodes. We're going to have a very fun show next week too as well. You'll be seeing the details. Oh, Chase just scored. Oh, I wish that was Drake London. Oh, look, they're doing team celebrations now. What is this?
Bro, that's all they do is team celebrations. What
are they doing? George Clinton? What is that?
I don't know. I just see him score. I got to see it now. Hold on.
God, next year I'm gonna be sitting at that game, probably with the podcast mic in my hand. Second quarter, one time for the fan. We down here, we live.
Oh, they doing dancing. They doing like break dancing.
They all over the place with it, man. But guess what? They're having fun. They're in the damn playoffs. Yeah. Enjoy it.
Justin, what's good, man?
Justin, what's good, man? Justin living the life, man.
That boy was on the boat not too long ago.
I'll be on the boat right now.
I'll be on a boat next month.
Oh,
I won't be cleaning it. Shut up. I won't be cleaning it. Don't say it. Don't you damn say it. Don't you say it.
Chase cleaning the wings of these Delta planes and Bodie out here scrubbing the side of these yachts.
They pulled the field goal.
Huh?
They snowed the field goal. Yeah, they snowed it.
Dave, what's good, Dave? You and your wife and the family. How y'all doing from One Time for the Fan?
What's up?
He has the best offensive coaching, so he is set up. Atlanta will be first in our division next year. I believe in our ability on and off the field, on and off the season. Oh, I believe in our ability and off season. Well, Dave, let me tell you something, man.
Excited.
Off season is here, and you see the title of One Time for the Fan today. The Falcons season is over, but it's the new season for One Time for the Fan. So we're going into this new era of the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I'm going to say it's going to be great with the money. New defensive coordinator coming in the building. I believe it's going to be Desmond Ridder still. I'm still standing on my word. It's going to be Desmond Ridder week 1 next year.
Every time we mention the offseason money, you need to get a little cash flow backdrop. Dollar bills falling.
I got to get the budget up. I got to
budget. Yeah. We get there. We got to do our research. We're going to get stuff right. Well, it's going to be
bring an engineer in here, man. Falcons just opened up the Ticketmaster Studios. Falcons, I know y'all follow me. I mean, y'all follow me. If y'all ever, which I knew y'all probably do, watch it. That Ticketmaster Studios has a podcast studio.
One time for the fan in there.
One time for the fan is here. You know, I'm gonna be there training camp. One day, 2 day, 3. Might as well just give me the shoulder. Might just give me the pass right now. Give me the equipment right now. Give me the playbook right now. You know I'm gonna be out there. Chase, you gonna be out there day 1 training camp?
Gotta see with the baby, man.
Yeah,
see what happens.
Yeah,
the baby.
Shout out to the baby.
Yes, sir.
I ain't talking about that rapper.
One time for the fan, Preston. Definitely playoff bound next year.
Facts.
I love hearing this, man. See, Falcons already got that faith for next season. I love hearing that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we do it for. We do it for the fans. Falcons doing it for. They trying to get the Super Bowl, y'all. And I told y'all before 2027 we're gonna get one. I had to give a couple years stretch, but yeah, before 2027 we're gonna get one. And it's looking like Desmond Ridder might be that guy. Might be that. You're looking at Purdy, and what's the dude's name from the Giants? Didn't they want him gone? Like since he's been drafted, and now he's leading his team to the divisional playoff game. Are you serious?
Yeah. They on his back now. Yeah. Ooh, Daniel Jones. You just said, you same cat. Just talking all that smack.
Trevor Lawrence.
Damn Daniel Jones.
Trevor Lawrence. Daniel, what's his name? Daniel Jones. Purdy.
Purdy.
Come on, man. This is
playoff
a little bit of hope for Desmond Ridder.
Bro, I didn't. You'd have told me them three.
In the NFC South, the only first-round draft pick you have in the playoffs out of the NFC is Daniel Jones. That's the only first-round draft pick you have.
You'd have told me those 3 names would be in the playoffs.
So that's what. So my statement is, Ridder didn't have to be a first-round draft pick to get to the playoffs.
Absolutely not.
That's all I was trying to say.
Like, no, that's not. No, he doesn't have to be, and we're going to develop him. That's the plan.
We keep talking about the draft. We're going to finish up these comments here, and then we're going to get to the draft because the draft order is in. So I don't know if you boys want to go ahead and get ready for that. We about to go ahead and start talking about that in just a second. Big Low Country Sports. Big Kush. Happy birthday, Big Kush.
Happy birthday, dog.
What in the world, Bo?
What in the world, Bo? That's Superman shit.
Yeah, you about broke your neck doing that.
That's a real deal Atlanta Falcon fan right here. Big Low Country Sports.
Shout out Big Low.
We've had Big Low Country on the show twice. We've jumped into a podcast with some other content creators who's going to be on our shows coming up soon.
Yeah.
Big Country was in there.
Yeah.
Talking Falcons. It's supposed to be 30-minute show. Ended up being 2 hours. Texting Bodie like, bro, I left the damn steak on the damn stove.
He's like, I'm going to bow out gracefully.
Like, bro, I smell something burning. One word, bro. What we got here? The 95 North Falcons talk show.
Good,
love to see it, brother. 95 North. Let me. Hey, Sear. Falcons should. Sear, shut up. Falcons should look to what Pease has left as a foundation. Keep some similarities with new defensive coordinator. So I look for the Falcons to hire someone with ties in the past to Pease. That would be Brian Flores. Another name who has ties to Arthur Smith, I believe, is Jim Haslett and Jerry Gray, the Packers defensive passing coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Another name that I did not mention, but I'm just throwing it out there right now. Jerry Gray has ties to Arthur Smith. Brian Flores, I believe, has ties with Dean Pease. But if it is that it's going to be Brian Flores, let's just say that maybe Dean Pease has something.
That's the plan. I mean, I think that would be ideal for what Pease has started and what we have here. To just continue off what he's built and get a defensive coordinator that runs that scheme. But we'll see what happens. I think that would be the plan, though.
Out of Pease's draft picks, defensively, who's not on the field?
What do you mean? No, say that again.
I mean, his defensive picks that he made in the past 2 seasons.
All his rookies are on the
field.
Yeah.
They're on the field.
Everybody he's drafted is on that field.
They're playing. They have a role.
You had Schaefer who didn't play. You had Fitzpatrick who didn't play.
Well, yeah.
That was 2 offensive players. I mean, sad that the Georgia players didn't play. Of all the players. The national champions.
No problem.
Oh, man. That was tough doing that. I'm just thinking about the draft show. We did 3 hours of that waiting for a Georgia player. Honestly, we did what? 12 hours total waiting for a Georgia player on the podcast.
I was sitting there. I was like, George Pickens. We get
I remember Dez in the chat said, "Oh my God." And Dez got up from the screen. He got up. He walked away. I said, what'd you get? He said, "Bro, wait till you see this pick, bro." And then Boo Man lights it up in the chat. Choi and Anderson. Let's go. No Georgia players? Couple Georgia players are still on the board too. Preston Sack said apply that pressure. We're about to get to the draft talk in a minute. The draft is in. Chase, Bodie, anybody got the names, the teams real quick? Before I pull this up, we're about to go over this chat. We love talking Falcons football with everybody. Yeah, that's why I would love Brian Deloach is in here chatting it up. Big Country's in here chatting it up. Shout out to 95 North. Let's go ahead and put it back up there. We've got some more content creators. 95 North Falcons talk show. Obviously, he knows what in the world, Bo, so he knows Country. Coach, this your gang right here? Country, this your crew? You rolling up on us like this?
Hey man, shout out to 95 North Falcons show, man. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Subscribe, guys. Hey, appreciate you.
Definitely. We gonna check you out, dog.
Hit the soundboard, man. What the soundboard?
I ain't got it set up yet, bro. It's right here. We're gonna be right.
Yes, right? Sir.
New subscriber in the building. 95 North, we gotta get you on the show, man. Long off season. Everybody want to talk Falcons.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of Falcon fans on the show. We got some special guests on the show. We got some journalists coming up on the show. Saying too much. Just gonna let y'all know. Emails have been sent. Emails have been replied to.
we even got Jack's coworker who cut grass with.
I'm over here like this
on the show. He coming on the
email.
show.
I gotta put my shoulders up when you type them emails like this. We type them professional emails. We typing regular, you just be on chill. But shout out to everybody who's been watching the podcast, who's tuned in. There are some folks that I know is watching the podcast that I know is some people that y'all know. So shout out to everybody. I don't like name dropping folks, but yeah, one time for the fans out here trying to uplift the fan base. And we talk the best we can about the Falcons. We don't bash the team. We don't bash the players. We crack a little jokes every now and then. But at the end of the day, it's all for what? For the damn birds, man. Shout out to the Rise Up Tour too as well. If you don't know, Rise Up Tour, me and my homeboy started an away game group, traveling fans that go to away games. It started with 2 people. Now we're over 1,200 members.
Now it's lit.
Now it's crazy lit. Now we're getting ready to prepare for year 5 this year, and we're in the chat. Suggestions are going through the roof.
New Orleans was stupid lit with the Rise Up Tour.
Chase, Bodie, y'all first trip with the Rise Up Tour was New Orleans. Just real quick. Give us y'all information. Just y'all feedback about the Rise Up Tour, what we did down there.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you and Thomas, y'all put on a great event, dog. It was definitely something as a Falcon fan I've never experienced. Just to meet up with nothing but Falcon fans and kind of just take over Bourbon Street. Nothing but you walk down the street, all you hear is Rise Up, Rise Up. It's just a good feeling, to experience out of town. You experience in Atlanta, but to see your team take over a whole nother city, it's dope.
And that's just New Orleans, folks. We did Miami. I mean, last year Miami. The year before that, I mean, we had LA last year, Seattle. Who else we went? Washington, Baltimore. I mean, come on, we got a lot going on. But Bodie, yeah, your thoughts about one time for the Rise Up Tour in New Orleans, the takeover that we had, just how we have the group set up. Just your thoughts on that, because you was the first time we're going on to the parties too.
Yeah, and it's just well set up. Everything is just a beautiful thing. You know, getting to meet Falcons. Excuse me.
Just the cornbread. Gotta add more milk next time.
Shit. Hey, you know what? No,
breadcrumbs in there.
No,
these breadcrumbs will be good. Don't worry, it's gonna soak that.
You want your cornbread? Great. It was a great experience meeting Falcon fans. Just we go to these games and we don't ever get up with other Falcon fans, especially on the road or whatnot. It's just a great experience to just go to a different city and just get together and just enjoy the Falcons together and just party, fellowship, and all that. So, man, I'm just glad to find them. So, glad to be a part.
Falcon fans, of course, we love talking with Falcons fans. That's what we do. It's called One Time for the Fan. We're fans. We're diehard fans. Travel to home, away games, don't matter where it is. We're in Atlanta. You know what it is. Chase is somewhere in Alaska. He catches the train, then he catches the plane, then he catches the bus, then he catches the car. Takes a run. Then he takes a Lime scooter when he gets the yellow deck. On the street, north side drive, gets to the stadium. But for us, we're diehard Atlanta Falcon fans, right? So when we come in here and we talk Falcons football, we love to talk Falcons football. But for those that do not know, if we end up going over every single comment like we normally do and then get to it, show is over. And then we can't even get to our segment. So we do have our fifth quarter where we go in there and we chat up with everybody in the comment section. Because we love talking Falcons football. So many questions I got this week, so much information from fans like, yo, post this, put this out. Man, we trying to keep this thing in an hour. You know what I'm saying? We trying to keep the segments good, but we are going to be bringing a lot of fans on. We're going to be bringing a lot more people on. We've been doing this for a while now, so shout out to everybody who's been supporting us. But yeah, we're gonna definitely chat it up with everybody. So if I missed a comment, if I missed anybody, I apologize. Bodie apologize. Chase apologize, and Dez, he ain't never here to apologize, so don't even worry about him. But yeah, he's in the chat. But he says I changed his name from Dez to like number 37 AB6. Like give him like
Oh, he's like one of them NCAA players.
He's a bot for right now. I just need him to just moderate the chat. But that's what we do here on One Time for the Fan. Joseph Avery said, "Hey fellas, I think Coach Pease did a hell of a job with what he had to work with. Enjoy your retirement, Coach Pease. Go Grits Blitz." Another one that Joseph Avery talked about. He's talking about Lovie Smith and Mike Singletary. And somebody said Lovie Smith after he was out in Houston. And I'm sitting there thinking, Lovie Smith gonna bring some losses with him too.
Most dead.
Look, it's like
what you want me to do?
Yeah.
What you want me to do?
Yeah.
Fans ain't too hot on Lovie, dog.
Singletary.
It's like what he said.
Singletary, I don't even know if is he in the XFL or where is he now?
I'm not even know. I think he's in like USFL or something. But that's the thing, though. Those are big names. We know those names. We've seen those names. The big names always are the best names. I'll say that.
Flores for sure, right?
Yeah, Flores.
Willie P is up in here.
Rise up.
Let's go.
Said rise up. Jeremiah is up in here. He said rise up. Also, shout out to the Mercedes-Benz. Shout out to the Falcons. If you did not know, the Falcons were on the top 10 attendance list this year.
Yes, sir.
For attendance around the NFL. So all you Falcon fans like, oh, the game's not sold out. Nobody's there. Look at the numbers. The Falcons, I think, were 6th on the list in NFL attendance.
So we showing up
this season.
We showing up to the Benz.
We showing up, and I think some of y'all showed up. Definitely, that Saints game week 1, that month, that Joker was packed.
Yes.
That Bears game was packed. That Steeler game was packed. The Bucks game and that Cardinals game for New Year's was packed. I will say that. And you came away with 2 wins right there. People was happy to see Ritter. Also, too, as well, coming into that New Year's game, people was also happy to see us beat the Bucks, too. I saw that January 8th game, and I said, Oh, y'all can do this. Don't come in with them $5 tickets and $10 tickets, and my homeboy gave me these tickets. Y'all can do this. Y'all just be waiting for these wins and stuff. Y'all be waiting for this team. Nah, man. I done been to cities where these fans just show up, dog. They don't care what the record is. I told y'all Bengals started being like, they're good now. The dude in Cincinnati told me the stadium was always full. It didn't matter. There's nothing to do out there but just watch football. So, Falcons fans, y'all can do this. Turn up.
Falcons creative. Y'all need to hit me up. I got some ideas for like some chants. I told y'all.
We got some crazy ideas. I know Bodie got one where he actually runs out with the stick in his hand, like the Falcons flag. He got the Falcons the Rasta beads. Appreciate y'all with Smitty. Oh, you with Smitty Sports Machine.
Yeah, he is.
Shout out to 95 North Falcons Talk Show.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Shout out to Smitty.
Yeah, shout out.
Smitty out there holding it down. That's a fumble. No, it's a touchdown. Smitty out there holding it down, representing the Atlanta Falcons nation. Doing
talking
the
his.
best he can. He talking his. That's Smitty.
Shout out to Smitty, man.
We was on with Out of Your Falcon Mind when Smitty jumped in. That was a good time. We got a chance to actually share our thoughts and ideas on a podcast platform with not only Country, but Out of Your Falcon Mind and Smitty too as well. And we also had Saison too. There, we got to get Saison on too as well, bro. Like, there's some diehard Falcon content creators out here. I'm glad to be a part. And Bodie is too, and Chase is too, of a community of fans that just they're pushing content to keep Falcon fans. And
to hear all of these different opinions and put all our minds together and just bring all different types of points to the table, man, it's a great thing. So shout out all the Falcon content creators out here, man. Shout out to all of y'all, man.
Real quick, shout out to Christy, shout out to Diane, diehard Falcon fans. You know,
rise up.
Bodie, Chase, before we get to the draft, some moves were made, and this is also pretty big too as well this week in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Everybody was talking, hey man, you got to go get this guy. You got to go get this guy. Hey, Falcons got the money. Go after this guy. We dropped some names on the podcast in previous weeks. Earlier this week, a big name was signed, and it took a name off of our chart of who we're going to be targeting, or I thought we were going to be targeting. Yeah, it was Roquan Smith. Yeah, the Ravens slapped him with a deal. Here, take this, $100 million. Bam. Don't get up. Keep the money. Go out there and get 15 sacks next season.
Crazy. They got enough money to get that man $100 million and give Lamar like $300 million.
So,
hey,
it's so many things that can shake up this draft. If we get to it now, it's going to be crazy. I think we're going to try our best to in a couple of minutes after we do the draft order and some information about, how the Falcons can select this player. But Roquan Smith, the big deal in Baltimore, takes the name off of the Falcons targeting list. Another name, Deron Payne, some information came out. Fans were like, Payne, you got to go get him. And we're all for it. The information came out this week. Washington looks like they're going to throw they're going to build Deron Payne a whole stadium just for him. That means they want him. So it's going to be a bidding war. And Chase got into the chat and said, well, it depends on where he wants to go.
It ain't done till it's done.
But seeing him post the picture where I think he posted a picture on Instagram or Twitter when he said mood, and he's like sitting there like watching the camera. It kind of gives you that look like you're one of the hottest free agents on this market right now.
Yeah, he knows he's got a payday.
Washington can't throw the bag at you.
He's got a payday coming.
It's coming regardless. It just depends on where he want to go. So
where he wants to go.
Let's see how it go.
Let's get to the draft because we got some things that's going to shake up the draft too as well. We're about to keep the chat rolling. We love talking Falcons football with everybody. We got to keep the chat entertained. We got some shakeups in the draft that could happen before the draft that could change how this whole thing plays out. I was chatting up with some Falcon fans the other night, and we were talking about who the Bears would select. I'm like, no, the Bears they're getting Fields out of here. They're going quarterback. No way. The Bears don't have a defense.
Nope. They're going D-line.
They lost Quinn.
Nothing.
They lost Roquan. They don't have a defense. They're sitting at the number 1 pick. We're going to talk about this in a couple of minutes. Who got the draft order?
I got it right here.
What we got? We're about to get to that. William said, rise up. What's good?
That's good, William.
Right.
Big Low Country Sports said, much love to y'all fellas.
You already know, dog.
Much love.
All day, every day.
Alfonso McDaniel, what's up, my brother? He said, we defense guys, South guys, fellas. Yes, sir. Rise up to you. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button so I can do the no, not that one. There it is. Yeah. I've been watching Country Show too much.
What you want to do?
Using the Superman chat.
Yeah.
Country so, man. Let me tell you something. Country show is so lit, bro. You feel me? Like sometimes I just be sitting on chill, like, bro, I'm finna watch Country show. Like it's a regular show. Like it's like you're watching the game or something on TV. You know, Country so lit, man. But he does it by himself, man. That's another content creator for the Falcons, man. Y'all gotta show some love to Big Low Country Sports, man. We're gonna get him back on the podcast here too as well, so we can talk some Falcons football. Joseph said, I'm quite sure that Terry and Arthur would make a good hire, no matter who it is, in-house or somewhere else. Go Dirty Birds.
Oh, really? Yep.
Oh, we got a superstar here. Hold on. He's a little bit late, but hold on. I wish it was a little bit taller. I wish it was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat and a 6'4" Paula. Yes, so. Man, I tell you, boy, this Sean so lit, bro.
Shout out, dog.
Shout out,
Sean. If you can do this, bro, if you can come in here on the next podcast, even if you got to go do something, just come in here and drop the first comment and then peace out if you have to. But your comments when we open up the show, bro, I'm telling you, it gets us so lit, man. Just seeing you here, it's always good because you're a diehard Falcon fan. You've been here with us for a while, talking Falcons, talking about the defense, talking about the offense, and talking about the team. And that's what we're here for that.
Yeah, man.
We're here for that. We love that.
Salute to you, brother.
It's all about the Falcons. Shout out to you.
Bridget. What's good? That's another one been following the show for a long time.
Die hard.
Yep.
Die
Shout
hard.
out to you, Bridget.
And this is so diehard of Bridget, right? So when the Mariota situation happened, right? Bridget reached out, was like X, Y, and Z on the Mariota situation. And then I gave my opinion of that too as well. Bridget is still here. We're fans. We're going to agree. We're going to
passionate fans.
We're passionate fans. And I respected Bridget's
shout out for Bridget and being passionate.
And that's how we do it here on One Time for the Fan. It's about being together as a team. We all want to see what we're gonna say. What's the shirt say, Bodie? We're all gonna be
we're all gonna be at the parade
together.
At the end of the day,
we're gonna be.
You said that shit on like the first show we ever did.
We're gonna be at the parade together. Some of us gonna be at the back of the parade. Somebody's gonna be in the front of the parade. Some of us gonna be there camping out overnight before the parade starts.
And then some of us gonna be sweeping the trash out the street, Chase.
Yeah. Some of us gonna be on the bus as well. You hear me up there talking to you, go.
Well, I got that now. All right.
They're gonna be like, who's that on the bus? One time for the fan, y'all. One time for the fan. Didn't I tell y'all? Let's get to the draft, y'all. Here goes the fun part. We're about to hit the hour mark, but don't forget, we got 15 minutes grace, just like in esports. Give us 15 minutes grace. Let's get to the draft. What is the order? What is the order? What do we got here?
Top 10. Top 10. Number 1, Bears. 2, 2 Texans. 3 Cardinals. 4 Colts. 5 Seattle by way of Denver. Sorry ass. 6 is the Lions by way of the Rams. Sorry ass. 7 is the Raiders. 8 us. 9 Panthers. 10 Eagles by way of Saints.
Let's go back to number 1.
The
Bears.
All right, so that's the thing. There's so much that can happen here. Yeah, the Bears, they would probably, if they stay there, they would probably pick Will Anderson. But if they move and if somebody wants to get,
there's going to be a lot of movement. A lot of movement.
I love how we're getting to this because the chat, here we go. We chatted up like how we're doing in the chat. And I'd be watching everybody chatting the One Time for the Fan chat. And you see the bubbles pop up and you start putting a little topic out there. It's like, oh, we about to be talking about this shit for some hours right here.
Yeah.
The Bears. I'm going to get to some things that's going to shake up the draft too as well. But I do see the Bears probably selecting Will Anderson. If you're going to hear it right here tonight, you're probably going to hear it in a couple weeks as we lead up to the draft. You're going to hear it on the mocks. You're going to see it on TV. One Time for the Fan will be talking about it. If they select Will Anderson already off the board, there's only one guy left that you have to pick up the phone for to make a call. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Bears, and we got some things that's going to shake up the draft, but I don't think the Bears are going to trade Fields. I've been hearing about that. Trade Fields, get him out of here, go quarterback at 1, bring in the future. Fields is not the guy. I don't see that happening. At this point, I don't see another player taking over Will Anderson's spot at number 1, which would mean that the Bears they'll pump their fan base up with a guy like Will Anderson. And if he is who we think he is, he's a very good player. Mm-hmm. And he's going to make that Bears defense a little bit better next season. Yeah, put some pieces around him, but then go look at the free agency. They got some money too.
It's easier when you got a guy that can get you 12 to 15 sacks.
Exactly.
Robert Quinn was that guy for a while that they had over there. Roquan
and then Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack as well.
Stuff like that. So,
yeah. Number 1, Chase Bodie. Bears on the clock.
Will Anderson. Will Anderson. They need it desperately. They need a lot of spots, so I think they go with Anderson.
Bodie?
Same, but I'll never rule out them thinking Jalen Carter can really hold that line together.
Yeah, you got to go there too.
It starts in the trenches. I wouldn't say pass rushers are easier to get, but if you got a manimal like Jalen Carter, who is really the number 1 ranked player in this entire draft, you got to consider him too. But I'll say for right now, Will Anderson will probably go number 1.
Yeah, we'll go hot takes here on the next one. Houston's on the clock on the number 2, correct?
Yeah. Yes, they're going.
Here goes the shakeup down.
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud? That's what you got?
His performance in the playoffs secured that for me, CJ Stroud.
Here goes the shakeup. Derek Carr is on the market.
Yeah. Very true, but Derek Carr comes with a fat salary cap.
If Jackson is not in Baltimore, he's on the market.
Very true.
If Tom Brady decides he doesn't want to stay in Tampa Bay, this is a long shot, he's on the market.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers looked the way he walked out of Green Bay the other night, he's on the market.
That man ain't going to Houston.
I done seen some players that you think that you would never see playing a Brett Favre to the Jets was one of the craziest things I've ever seen, bro.
Shit. Michael Vick to the Jets.
Oh man. And then the big
Saints. And we talked about this. Somebody posted in the chat. Saints and the Panthers selling everything to go get a quarterback in the draft.
It's a possibility.
We say we don't go off mock drafts, but I've seen a couple of mock drafts where the Panthers trade up for that number 1 spot.
Falcons.
I can see them trading number 1. They would want to jump. They would want to jump to Houston because Houston's going quarterback.
The Panthers.
Whoever, yeah. So Bears, they're listening to every conversation for that number 1 pick. If it's something that they cannot turn down,
and Panthers have been known to do some crazy
big shake up, another one in the draft. I didn't put this on the list the other day for you guys, but the Bears trade their pick.
Bears trade their pick.
And the Panthers move up to number 1.
They take CJ Stroud, I believe.
That now pushes the 2 guys that you're looking for a little bit further back. So we got to Will Anderson, Houston. I think you said CJ Stroud. I'm going to agree with you for now until the things get shaken up. I can see them drafting the quarterback. They have to get that fan base back.
Yeah.
And they need a franchise player. They need somebody who can sell some tickets. And the kid from Ohio State or even Alabama, it could be Bryce Young.
Could be. He's projected to be the top quarterback.
But it could be those 2.
I will say this.
Bodie.
Vegas always has insight. And I got an alert on my phone that said that the odds for Will Levis to go number 1 has went up.
Yeah.
They don't do this shit just to do it, okay? They got some kind of insight that somebody likes Will Levis enough to trade up to go get him.
Indianapolis Colts.
Maybe even
Colts haven't had a quarterback pick.
Will Levis is different. But we're going to break it down.
That's why I love doing this.
We got all off season to break.
We got
down.
Months to break all this down, but you shock. This is our like appetizer. So we're gonna eventually get to the full thing later on.
Yeah,
but you
don't
shock
take
the draft.
Take it all with a grain of salt.
Yeah, please. You shock the draft chasing, Bodie, by selecting a quarterback at 1. And then you got people like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. The Bears just took Stroud? No way.
Oh,
and then you're gonna be sitting there like
Levis.
And guess what I'm doing if I'm the Falcons? Hello. Get the phone.
Get the call.
Yeah. I'm bored.
Hey,
I'm calling. Yeah. I can't dial fast enough.
Jay Prince, you still down there in Houston, baby? I'm talking about you pick up the phone.
For the love of God, do not trade any of our franchise players.
I don't see a trade being made from the players. You have 9 picks. You're not using 9 players next season.
No,
very true.
We're making
next segment here in a minute about who's staying and who's going. But you're not using 9 players next season on the field. You didn't play Schaefer. You didn't play Fitzpatrick this year.
No.
You're going to trade some picks to get some leverage.
Yeah, no stuff. We brought this up, last season that we would think Terry was going to trade with all those draft pick moves. I believe he sent somebody to Kansas City for another pick or something.
Was it the Fenton one?
The Bills, the Fenton. Yeah, he traded
the Marlowe Fenton. Yeah, the 3-way deal.
Yeah, with like a third round pick or something like that.
Yeah, it was like the same 2 or 3 week span. They started trading players around and stuff before I think it was before draft deadline, wasn't it? No, it was a little bit after. Was it? No, it was
right before trade.
Before trade.
So, Terry's already doing moves and he ain't even off season yet. So I'm ready.
Bodie. Yep. Number 2, Stroud, Houston. Who got a 3?
3 is the Cardinals, and they got their quarterback. So
they're gonna go.
Jalen
and this is the shakeup. Do they? If Hopkins is out the door, you're gonna go wide receiver.
They could trade down. I would trade down.
You trade down, you pick up some more picks. But let's just say they stay at 3 and they go wide receiver. It's either Addison from USC or it's your kid from TCU. Quentin Johnston. So let's just say this is just the appetizer. Let's just say they go wide receiver. That means Carter's on the board at 4. Terry, what do you want? Who's at 4?
The Colts, but they're definitely going quarterback.
Levis.
Hey guys, it's me again. Yeah. What y'all about to do? Oh, Will Levis. Oh, yeah. Superstar kid. Hey, check this out. You can get him at 8. Yeah, of course. Yo, definitely. Yep. Who's at 7, Bodie?
7 is the Raiders.
Yeah, definitely.
They need a quarterback.
I just talked to the Raiders a couple minutes ago. Yeah, you're gonna be good. Nah. All right, we'll talk to you.
It's some shit.
The Falcons,
CJ, Bryce, and Will Levis are all going, I believe, before the top 10's out.
This is it. Agree or disagree? If Carter is on the board or Will Anderson's on the board, still at 4 with the Colts, that's your trade. That's the trade.
You try to trade up. You try to trade up.
You got to at least try.
You go to the podium.
The Colts could probably get a quarterback a little later. Like they could trade back and get a quarterback.
Remember that thing on the screen? Dun, 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 the little bells and shit they play on the screen.
Yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts have traded the 4th pick. That's when everybody gonna sit up. Who y'all trading to? And it's gonna hit right there. It's gonna hit on your screen. ESPN. The Atlanta Falcons have traded.
Let's go.
And that's when I start tearing up. Like, it's about to happen.
Yeah, that would be everything.
And you can just imagine everybody in the Bends, everybody in Athens. Let's just say it is Carter. Pandemonium. Probably a parade the next day.
Yeah.
Pandemonium.
That's ideal.
You saw it when Jordan Davis wasn't selected. You're seeing it with Davis on the field in Philly. You can't miss this opportunity to not try to trade up if Carter or Anderson is on the board at 4. And it's a very strong possibility over what we're talking about that one of them will probably be on the board at 4. Who is 5, Bodie?
5 is the Seahawks.
That's where Carter Anderson is gone.
Defense, yep. You got to get him before Seahawks gets him.
Yeah.
1 through 5 is Anderson and Carter. It is what it is. You got to get to 4, or you got to get to 5. And Seattle might look at it. Don't forget, Geno now was supposed to be the bust. Geno has put up over 4,000 yards and led them to the playoffs.
Yeah,
he'll be back next year.
Geno's solid.
Yeah.
So that's why they're probably going to go defense. And they talked about what they need. The Bears need an edge rusher. The Seahawks need an edge rusher. Hell, Bruce Irvin was back out there playing. Ain't like 15 years.
Sheesh.
Solid player. Who's at 6, Bodie?
Lions.
They go quarterback.
Why?
They go find their franchise quarterback.
But mind you, I gotta say this. Goff ain't old.
Was he old? 30?
They almost made the playoffs. He ain't even 30.
What had they won with Goff? Had they made the playoffs?
They almost made the playoffs.
But almost.
It's the Dan Campbell effect. He wants
almost don't count though, buddy. You know how these franchises are. They want to win now. You know, I feel like they could go quarterback and secure that franchise quarterback. Who knows? We don't know how this thing's going to shake out.
But the Lions, they won like 7 games straight.
They did
to end the season, and then they lost. I think they didn't even lose the last game. They beat Green Bay and knocked them out of the playoffs. They got something there with Goff. This is Falcons. A Super Bowl quarterback. He went to the Super Bowl. Falcons and he's still not 30. He did lose. But we'll see.
6. Who's 7? You said the Raiders?
7 is the Raiders. And they definitely need a quarterback.
Carr's out. They're going to go quarterback. That's where Stroud, Young, or Levis comes in. One of those 3 picks. And then Carolina's sitting back like, oh, y'all finna take the top 3 picks? Nah, we want some of that too. So Carolina might even move up.
So much to go on. But
unless they're so heavy on Corral and Darnold.
Yeah.
True. They need to strap Corral.
Then comes us, Bodie. We talked about the scenario, and we're going to keep going over this because as we get closer to draft day, more stuff will come up. I see Archangel is up in here. And, of course, we know what he says. Defense, defense, defense. If the opportunity is to trade up at 4, Anderson or Carter's on the board, you're blessed if Anderson and Carter is still on the board at 4.
Yeah.
I'm talking about both of them still on the board at 4. Yeah, you're blessed because now you can call 2 teams to say, look, we'll give you the 8. We'll give you a second next year. We ain't finna give you. We ain't finna get out 2 first. But we got some picks to trade around with. Carter, Anderson, those are the 2 picks. There's a couple more names. The kid out of Texas Tech.
Yeah, that's Tyree Wilson.
Yep.
They're talking about a young man from Florida. Apparently, he's the best pass rusher in the country.
Florida State. Yep.
Florida State. Mm-hmm. Another name who can move up the charts too as well. And I love hearing that because you're like, let them 2 players, let them 2 players that we need slide back while these jokers keep moving up.
It's cool.
We just need one of them.
You got to think about the Atlanta native too, Miles.
Oh yes, from
Miles Murphy.
Clemson.
Miles Murphy. Yeah, it's so much. It's so much to take in.
There's so many talented cornerbacks too that are on the board. You know,
it's gonna be one of the most interesting drafts I've ever seen.
That's gonna be the fun part because this whole offseason is gonna be interesting. And here at One Time for the Fan, we get a chance to sit back and talk with, as you can see in the chat, Falcon fans. And we know most of these Falcon fans too, but there's a lot of new fans too as well that's new to the channel. That's getting involved in the conversation and what we got going on. We salute y'all. Shout out to y'all. Because we do this for the Falcons fan base. We're trying to make sure everybody knows that we're diehards and y'all are diehards, and we want to be at the parade together, celebrating the Super Bowl victory. If it happens this year, next year, the year after, we want to be there. Hell, we need to start getting back on track so we can start winning multiple Super Bowls, because I'd love to see that happen. I just want the first one. The first one's going to bring many more, but it's going to happen real soon. The draft. We'll be going over that over the next couple weeks leading up to the date, so we got time. We're going to wrap up this show here shortly. But quickly, we're just going to go down the name of just pretty much a list of free agents. The Falcons have to make a decision. 53 members on the roster right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of free agents on this list. Who's going to be staying? Who's going to be going? You got to bring in some draft picks. You got to bring in some free agents. We got the money. People know that the bag's going to be dealt out this year. People's getting the bag. I'm talking about walking away with the bag.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to say it right now. We'll just go over it in the next couple of weeks. We'll hear some more information on the streets. We'll hear some more information from the journalists, the everybody who covers the Falcons. Falcons free agents. Rashard Fenton. Chase. Bodie.
Let him walk.
He walks you down to 52.
It didn't work out.
Pinion.
Punter.
I think they may resign.
52. Michael Ford.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael Ford. He's great. Yeah. He was great on special teams. I can see him coming back.
Yeah.
Isaiah.
And Isaiah really flourished these last 3 games, bro. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we re-sign him for maybe 1 year, see what he can do. Prove it.
Yeah. I agree.
The thing about it is with the 1 year deals, I think they're trying to slow back on the 1 year deals. You got the money to actually get.
Yeah, I mean, right. You want to go ahead and lock these boys down for a couple of years. I get what you're saying. I just feel like, Oliver come off that injury. Maybe he's back to 100% now. Maybe he didn't hit full stride till the end.
Yeah.
Bodie, Oliver,
I'm good on Oliver. I think he's done enough to come back, but he's been a little teeter-tottery this year. He's been good. We know what he is though, but I think that's a wait and see thing. I think we're gonna see what talent we bring in, and then we'll evaluate from there.
Abdullah Anderson.
I'll bring him back as a rotational piece, but not a starter. Not a starter.
Matt Dickerson. Chase?
No, depth. I was just saying depth with Abdullah.
Yeah.
Matt Dickerson.
I'm going
to let him walk, boss.
Yeah, I think we'll bring in somebody that'll fill that spot.
Jaleel Johnson.
That's a name to look at. He didn't play much this season, but when he came in, that, like I said, last few games, he kind of put a mark out there on his name. But like you say, we got so much money this free agency. I don't know. They may bring somebody in to fill that.
That's a wait and see piece. We're gonna wait and see how we bring in talent.
All 4 D tackles is on your free agency list. Vincent Taylor.
I can't see it.
Here we go now, boys. Carter.
Carter. You give Carter a 2-year deal.
He deserves a multi-year deal.
Kowalski.
No, we can bring somebody to fill that.
Rashawn Evans.
I
think he re-signed him. He potentially could be if we could look at other linebackers because he has a limit. He can't cover, but he'll tackle his ass off. So we'll just evaluate. That's an evaluation, but I think he'll come back.
Liam McCullum, long snapper.
Oh, fact of the day.
I don't know. I wouldn't say gone. I mean, you may re-sign him just to have a long snapper. It's a long snapper.
I like Liam. Liam's nice.
Liam, yeah, he didn't jack up this year. He's good.
Bo Brinkley.
That's a long snapper too.
Eric Harris. I just go with that.
Long slapper.
Bodie said that's a long snapper too. Here go Chase. Who? I'll just take those as the answers. Eric Harris.
Shit, that's my line, Chase.
I think Eric Harris is gone, man. I like Eric Harris as a player, good guy, but I think he's gone. We didn't play him enough this year. We used him at special teams, but he's a veteran,
Bodie?
Yeah. We'll fill his spot with a rookie, a young guy. So.
Colby Gassett.
Resign.
He played well.
Keeping your line together.
Yeah, I like that. You can't shake that up. You can't shake that up.
1 point. If you can get 1.3 million, 1.6. Elijah Wilkinson. It's my boy.
Let's wait and see, though.
Homie.
He's a wait and see. You know what I mean?
Bring him back.
I like Elijah. I like the talent Elijah brought to this offense.
He got 7 months of rest. Bring him back.
Yeah, he was part of this offensive line that this running regime that we haven't seen in years. So
yes,
like you said, you don't break it up. If you can bring him back and he's 100%, I'm always resigning.
If the price is right, I think we bring him back.
Mr. Wilkinson, bring him back. I'll text you in a minute, fam. We rocking with Elijah. The bus lane. We rocking with Elijah. Bring him back. Offensive line produced this year a little bit better when he was here. He won the starting job in the summer. Played halfway up into the season when he got injured. You brought him back after injury. Now the season is over. He should be good to go. Hell, I'm finna go out there and probably practice with him this weekend. Like, trying to go out there, see if I can get by you.
You gonna stop? Your hip gonna come out of place, man. You gonna sit your ass down.
How you do that thing like chop move on your head, boy?
That's just not how you chop.
Line up like this one. Start putting my teeth on my neck. You know what I'm saying? You get a little aggressive out there. I used to play defense now. And I have to play quarterback.
Madden don't count. Stop it. Next play. Next man.
Jermaine
Ifedi. He was go ahead.
If you resign McGarry, I think Ifedi's gone.
Ifedi is a backup piece. Those pieces, I mean, he barely played this year, so we can't really analyze that. We'll just see what we draft, what we bring in.
Coach's decision.
So, yeah.
Chuma Adoga.
Same thing.
Yeah, he's rotational.
He has a lot of experience too as well coming out of USC when we picked him up. The line was so solid, they really didn't have to use Chuma too much. But if you're going to bring back that depth and keep it in-house, hearing Kobe should be coming back, that'd be nice. Hearing that Elijah Wilkinson, how we're saying here on the podcast, should be coming back, that'd be nice. You keeping the same bodies in the room, they're going to go over there and be like, you back? Oh, man, you know what we finna do. Same old shit. And then for the new guys that's coming in, we're going to teach them to do with it. Nah, Eric. We done said some people going and some people coming. We done said some people staying and some people going now.
Yeah, no
we ain't
doubt.
being too nice, bro.
Keeping it
all right, here we go, Eric. Marcus Mariota. That one for you right here. Marcus Mariota, Eric. That's the next one. Hell, I jumped a few. Marcus Mariota, fella.
I ain't being nice. I'm telling the damn truth.
There you go.
If you've been ass, you're gone. You gone.
You know, we don't bash or disrespect the team, Eric.
Hey, shit. No, it's just
Here you go, boy. Here you go. Look. Hell no. You see, I had to jump a couple of names for you. We about to go ahead and get about this stream here shortly. About to wrap it up. Caleb McGarry. Biggest name on the list, I think.
Coming back.
First resign.
Michael Pruitt.
He earned his way.
You got to resign Pruitt.
He earned it.
Fersker. Anthony.
Young.
Hodge.
Keep.
Yeah. He's been great on special teams.
It's a quarter. Like I said, we got to wait till free agency.
Yeah.
See what happens free agent.
Bird.
You can't keep Bird and Hodge. I don't think you keep both.
Zacchaeus.
Yeah.
Bodie. Zacchaeus, Bird, and Hodge.
You keep Zacchaeus or either one.
Yeah. I'm with Zacchaeus. I'm on there. But he can't be our number 2. No.
Keith Smith.
Resign.
He's solid. But they brought in
part of that run game, you know.
They brought in some competition for him though.
Yep.
That fullback we got, y'all don't sleep on him because he's supposed to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Die hard shit going on right now. Shout out to Big Country, man. I just seen your message, bro. We could have threw Big Country on in the mix tonight. But we're going to get Big Country back here on the podcast. We going to get Big Country back on the podcast. Eric said, bring the O-line back and fix the defense. I'm telling you, man, it'd be great to see those same group of guys as an offensive lineman. You go in there, like, there's going to be 2 or 3 extra guys. But to see Jake, Chris, let's say Dahlman, Elijah, McGarry, Cassette, hell, even throw Hennessy in the mix if you want to. These are guys that's building together, the core. You feel what I'm saying? And they did it before by keeping the line together. Let's see if they do it going forward. One time for the fan. Zacchaeus in the slot. That means keep Zacchaeus.
Yes.
Bodie Chase, before we get up out of here, any shout-outs, man? It was a great show tonight. You know we love talking Falcons football with everybody. Regardless if you came here when the show started or if you came here when the show's ending, it doesn't matter. We love talking Falcons football with everybody. Bodie, your shout-outs. Chase, your shout-outs before we get up out of here, Mike.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Who y'all came through, man. I'm telling like it is, Eric Parker. Okay, yeah, I'm telling like it is. If they've been ass, they've been ass. Okay, they've been ass. They've been ass. Okay, no, but no. Shout out to shout out to the Falcons. Shout out to the future. The future's bright. So yeah, shout out to this defense we bringing in. This shit finna change, and y'all hearing it now. At least it better change. They better not do what the Lakers did. Bring nothing. That whole staff deserves to be fired. That pisses me off.
I don't even want to get on the Hawks right now. That's another story. Whole nother podcast.
That's another. You want me to go down this list?
No, let's not do that.
Hawks got the trade deadline next month. They fucking better do something.
Go Dogs.
Excuse my French. That's one team I can count on. That's one team I can goddamn count on.
Go ahead, wrap this up here. I don't even know what my charger is. The computer getting ready to die soon. Chase, any shout outs?
His computer going dim.
Yep. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all our new subscribers that came on tonight and subscribed. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to Bodie. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to wherever Boo Man's at cleaning up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shout out to all y'all boys.
Hey, Boo Man.
Shout out to the Falcons and all that cash.
Yeah.
Falcon fans. It's been a long season. No season has come to an end, but once again, one time for the fan does not stop. We're going to be in here talking Falcons football every Sunday, 8 p.m. Subscribe to the channel. It's on YouTube. See at the bottom right there? I put the banner up so y'all can see it. I know people like to read. Subscribe to the channel. There it is right there for y'all.
And Big Low is on here. He want to get on next Sunday, but slide back, bro. Slide back.
We gonna get to Big Low getting back on the show. Next week we got some special guests coming through. I posted it. I posted on the One Time for the Fan page this week. We got Lisa Shepard. She's gonna be stopping by talking some football with us.
Big show.
We got Kiara, Lyric's mom, stopping by to talk some Falcons football with us, and we ain't gonna talk no trash on the Saints, but if we do, we might have to talk some trash.
We ain't gonna talk. Speak for yourself.
That's what we do One Time for the Fans. That's what we do. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Shout out to everybody who's been rocking One Time for the Fans since day one. We got a lot going on. Chase, Bodie, Boo Man, the other guy, what's his name? Frank. We all try to do our best to make sure entertain here on One Time for the Fan, and that y'all can get the information that y'all need going forward. So yes, we are out of here. We will be back on next week Sunday. Some more information for y'all. Of course, we always love talking Falcons football. So one time for the Atlanta Falcons, one time for Chase, one time for Bodie, one time for everybody in the chat. Subscribe to the channel. You can see the names right here. Hope this computer don't die. I'm gonna call Elon Musk and get
that computer gonna click off like your phone. Beep beep beep.
Chase, Hollywood, Bodie 3000. He just changed that because it said Farm Boy, Bodie 3000. I'm your host, Jack Spade. We'll be back on Sunday, 8 p.m. Yeah. Rise up. Go Dogs. Go United. Go Hawks. Shoot
Rise up.
Chop on Braves.
ATL. Hope.
Rise up Falcons.
See y'all, man.
Boom, man, you want to say anything?
Yeah. Is he waxing the floor?
He was on hold.
Shit.
Holla at y'all. Ever since I whooped him in that Madden, he got pissed. He ain't been hollering at me since, boy. He afraid, boy. I've been whooping that boy in the Madden. Something serious, boy. Anybody want to play me in the Madden? Let me know now. Got the 5. Bust your ass too. Let you know right now. I'm gonna put Franks in. Frank's gonna bust your ass too. I put Franks in on Boo Man. He was pissed, boy.
Trash.
Put Franks in on Boo Man. He said, "Is that Franks at quarterback?" I said, "Yeah, he playing this quarter." One time for the fan. We'll see y'all next week Sunday, guys. A lot more stuff to talk about. Rise up.
Rise up.